Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Weekly with Coach V. I am out here in the park again, such a beautiful day. And today we're going to be talking about some leadership tips. I've been recently thinking about leadership because there's been kind of a lot going on with my company as well as with my business, and just how people are interacting with each other, how people are talking to each other. So I wanted to pop in, just give a few tips on leadership. One of the first things that I would like to say is when you are a leader, learn how to lead up and lead down. This is if you're a part of middle management, you're a supervisor, you're a manager, even a top level executive, and you have higher execs above you. It's important that you know how to lead up and lead down, because there are times when you're told to do things from your upline and you have to deliver that to your downline, and it can be very stressful for you because sometimes the views don't kind of match. So I wanted to talk with you about understanding that it's important for you to lead up and to lead down. If what you're working on is not beneficial to your team in whole, you have to be the voice that communicates that up. And if it is something that they have to do that you don't necessarily agree with, or you think it might be kind of strong from upline to deliver down, you still have to deliver it to the downline. And you have to deliver it in a way that it doesn't make it sound fragmented, as if you don't agree with your upline as much as you do with your downline. So it's important that it's a very fine balance, that you understand that you have to learn how to lead up and you also have to learn how to lead down. There are messages that you have to give to your team that you might not agree with, and there are sometimes things that you have to tell your senior leadership that might be difficult, but you got to take a stand for your team. Another thing that I would say, if I'm giving out leadership tips, is never forget what it feels like to be an associate. I think sometimes we forget what our first days were like, how difficult it is, how hard it was for you to kind of give somebody what they needed to learn, and to also stand and to direct, and to also be a student. And I think sometimes we forget about that. And then we try to tell our team, oh, well, I'm the manager, which I hate that phrase. You shouldn't have to tell somebody you're a manager. If you are one, it should be evident. It's not something that you should have to say. So that's important. Don't forget what it's like to be a new employee, or to be an associate, or how to work on your first level before leadership. I think that's one of my biggest pet peeves, when I see managers come in and just try to push an associate along without realizing or remembering what it was like to be them. And then finally, one of my biggest pet peeves is, don't be a know-it-all. Like, stop being a know-it-all. Just because you know today's leadership, you know exactly like what kind of happened and what you need to do in today's world. And, oh, well, you know what? But back when I was a manager, or back when I was an associate, I used to this and I used to that. Well, times have changed. Processes have changed. Things are different. Don't just make your staff feel like, because you're the manager, because you're the leader, that you know everything. I actually am probably a better housekeeper today because of some of my staff that taught me how to be a housekeeper. I am a good front desk agent because I learned the front desk based on my team teaching me how to be a good front desk leader. And I learned how to be the manager that I am, not only from great leadership on the senior level, but by great associates that taught me how to do what it is that I do. So I would tell you today, don't be a know-it-all. Ask your staff how to do things you don't know how to do. They teach you because they work with that every day, and they'll respect you for it. Come in and work bottom up. They'll be able to see that you are not afraid of getting your hands dirty, and it just builds for a better team. So those are the three things that I want to leave you with today. Learn how to lead up and to lead down. Also, don't ever forget what it feels like to be an associate for the first time. And then finally, don't be a know-it-all. And I believe if you do all of these things, before you know it, you'll continue to believe, move, and grow. Until next week, gang, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you then. Thanks so much. Bye.